I think the biggest thing that I'd like to say first is we realize and we give all the credit to Tarboro. They've been a great champion. They've been here 5 straight times. And at halftime, I told the kids they're not going to go quietly, and they did. And they fought hard, which makes this even sweeter. I think just because our kids, and I told somebody just a minute ago, we were down 3 times this entire year, and this second half was that was only the 3rd time this year that we were behind, and our kids came back and scored every time all year, every time, all 3 times that they were down on the ensuing drive they came back and scored. So the largest thing that I want to get across is that our coaches and our kids each week for 16 straight weeks didn't take any opponent lightly, and they prepared each week. And I was talking to a coach that's been in it longer than I have, and I told him that, they said, well, what kind of week of practice did you have? I said, Coach, we've had a year's worth of great practices. I just can't complain at all about the work ethic of these kids. Now, the kids, and every now and then there's a little bit of slack period, but if they ever had a bad day of practice, they came back the next day with a good one. If they had a bad period of practice, we just stop them a minute and just say, hey guys, we're going to keep getting better. We got to practice harder than that. And they go back out the next period, it would improve. So I think the overriding thing is I just can't praise our coaching staff enough for their preparation and the big heart that our kids have and they play with. And we always talk to them about reaching their ceiling. And Garrett asked me, Coach, did we reach our ceiling? I said, hey, if we're this good, then I don't want to finish the year here. However good we are, I don't know how it is, but let's reach it. And I think we reached that ceiling today.
Coach, what allowed you to stop the tee so well? I know you were concerned about their speed, but
big, fast guys.
Yeah, with the exception of a couple plays, your defensive line.
They did a great job. Again, I go back to the coaches and their preparation. We have an excellent coaching staff and defensive coaching staff that prepares. If I say we're going to meet at 9 o'clock one weekend morning, they're there at 7:30. When I get there at 9, I'm always late because they always scoot up the time on me and get work done before I get there. So it starts with that, and then the kids buying into the schemes they put out each week. And, people think, well, you run this-based defense, so how hard could it be each week? You got to prepare for different things. And, what I said going into this game was we will have to be able to contain their speed and their big plays. And you saw one of them in the first half and 2 of them in the second half where they, every offense, when you go into a game, is going to execute their offense a certain number of plays in the game. And when they execute their plays, they're going to get 5 to 7 yards, maybe 12 yards if it's a big play. Tarboro executes their offense and gets touchdowns out of it because of their team speed. And the biggest key was to keep their team speed inside those tackle boxes and then hit it a little bit if we could. Of course, they kept coming at us. They've been hit before, but that was our goal, was to bottle up that speed and try to strike it a little bit. And they gave us a couple turnovers in the second half, but they showed their championship wear in the second half, and they lined up and brought it. And we just had to raise our level just a little bit more on that last drive. I don't know how many possessions on offense do we have in the second half. I think Tarboro ate up the whole clock.
Certainly a lot of your attention of your team's been on offense. I mean, the defense has probably been underrated because of that. I mean, how did you feel watching they're out of timeouts? I mean, it really is coming down to what your defense against their offense on that last possession was kind of the ball game. I mean, what is your mindset? Because this is the first real slow drive they had because they'd either done something quick one way or the other the whole game.
Yeah, we were getting some 3 and outs in the first half. The second half, they did a better job executing and moving the chains, which is what we did in the first half. I think we had a couple 4th down conversions, and we had several 3rd down conversions to keep the chains moving, to keep the drive alive that led to points. And I think, that period in the first half, we play about as fast as we can play. We try to get up there and play, and I think that helped us early, them adjusting to the speed of our offense. And then, defensively, that's where you just got to line up, suck it up. And I mean, we knew they were in 4-down territory. We had a 4-point lead. They had to score 7. They couldn't line up for a field goal. So, we had to stop them on all 4 downs at some point. And I don't know how many 4th down conversions they had on their drive on that last drive. At least 2. Right. And then the one we stopped them on. And did you see that one?
What do you tell your kids when, you know, the momentum starts going their way a little bit?
We just, I'll tell you what I did, and I don't really know what the kids did. I'll let them tell you. We tried to refocus and you know, just talk to the kids. What we did was we talked to our offensive players about what's open. You know, we talked to here's what we're looking to run. Here's what they're still giving us. They made a switch from a 4-man front to a 3-man front, and then took number 8 and put him in as a spy. Instead of running a 3-4-2 safety set, they ran a 3-4-1 safety set with 8 being a spy. So every ran we ran, he came up and put his helmet right in their chest. He's a heck of a player. And it took us a little bit of time to, again, and this is what the defense, Richard, did all year. It took us a little time to regroup and say, okay, guys, here's what they're doing to you. Here's where we can now take advantage of what they're doing now. And so we just had to answer your question, we had to focus on what we had to do the next play. Okay, just play the next play. And that's what we told them at the beginning of the game. We said, guys, let's go out there for 48 minutes and play one play at a time, and there's going to be some good things happen, there's going to be some bad things happen, you're going to have to face some adversity. Let's just play the next play, let's just play the next play, and then after that, let's play the next play, and when they're all over, let's see what happens. So they played them all, and then on that 4th down and 1, they came up big.
Each of the players just speak to what the thoughts are going through your mind right now.
See if they can speak it all here.
It's a feeling that, you know, it'll come every now and then. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'll never forget it the rest of my life.
It's a great feeling. I mean, we worked hard since June, end of June. We've been out here for almost 6.5 months, busting our tail, and it feels so great because you realize that your work's paid off, and it doesn't come very often. And you're glad that you can experience it and see that your team is right there behind you, and you've actually succeeded in something.
Well, I just enjoyed every bit of it. You know, we got a great bunch of guys, great coaches. They put all of us in the right spot. You know, and they trusted us, and you know, we just went out there and got it. The O-line. You know, they protected me well. The receivers, they did their job. Defense, they did their job, and came out with a victory.
Dallas, what did you see on film from the Tarboro offense?
Their O-line wasn't very strong, but all their running backs were very fast and very skilled, and they knew what they were doing. And coming into this game, I knew that was going to be our biggest challenge, was to stop those 3 running backs, and we did.
Was the system predicated on misdirection? How much were you guys preaching discipline this week?
A lot. Especially when we just go defense by itself. We do a lot of drills to where we practice it and practice it and practice it until you can't get it wrong. And we didn't.
Dallas, you and Jesse were on the 4th down play, and I know Jesse had the 3rd down play to push him out of bounds. What were you thinking? I mean, as he said, you knew you got to stop him on a 4th down play. Did you think that sweep was coming? And obviously, you know, Dallas Long blew it up in there, and okay, and then got him. And what did you see on that play? And was that the play you thought they'd run?
I knew they were going to run something to the right side. I didn't necessarily know it was going to be sweep, but I knew we had to stop them, and it was all or nothing on that last play.
Garrett, Jesse, tell me about the last scoring drive. What started clicking for you on that drive?
Well, I just brought the team together and said, you know, that's where you want to be right here. I mean, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else but with you guys right here. And got to execute, and we did. We drove it down the field. We got on the ball. We got our pace back, and Coach made a good play call and scored a touchdown.
I knew once we had some momentum gain, and I knew we could move the ball down the field because we've been doing it so consistently throughout the whole year. So we had confidence in our offense. We just had to take what they're giving us and roll with it.
Dallas, you're only a sophomore?
Yes, sir.
So how do you top this at such a young age? Defensive player of the game, the state championship game. You got 2 more years left.
I don't really know if you could top it, but I plan to come out next year just as strong and just as focused. Start back in June and just come back into it, come prepared, come focused. You got to come out wanting it again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, fellas.